And what's going on, you guys? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and
Jamar 4.
we're here for another episode of the Prelude. Okay, we were here just last night, and we were talking to Andre of Chasing Atlanta, not Chasing Atlanta, damn, Chasing LA. And this person that we have up here with us tonight, she was with us last week, but unfortunately, she had like an emergency and we had to cut it short. So we're here to finish the interview. This is basically part two of the interview. We're basically finishing it up today. Like we were just getting to the meat and the potatoes of the interview, which is the show. So without any further ado, she's been on the press run all day. She just came from Fox Soul. Now she over here with us. So let's bring back Nicole right here.
Hi.
Hi guys, I'm back. So sorry.
Look, things happen, and any positive updates? How's your
Absolutely, guys. My mom is doing so well. So let me just tell the story, honey. Since it happened on this show, honey, I will give y'all the story and I will tell it on this show. So as I'm doing the interview with you guys, I get a phone call from my mother, and I'm wondering why she's calling me because she knows what I'm doing at the moment. So she's like hollering and screaming, and she's like, "Nicole, I'm hurt. I'm outside. I'm hurt." I'm thinking, she's joking with me or something. I'm like, well, let me just go see. That's why I just asked you guys to hold for one quick second, because I'm like, well, maybe she just stumbled. She's 63, honey. She might have just stumbled real fast, and let me help her get up, and let me get her in the house, and let me get back to doing the interview. Child, I get down there, and that lady leg is bent over, bent out, honey. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So after I called 911, honey, I ran back in here and told you guys we had to end the interview. They ended up doing emergency surgery that night to put her leg back together again. But thankfully, honey, God is in the healing business, honey, and she is back up and at 'em. She still needs to walk with a walker or a cane and do rehab and physical therapy and whatnot, but she's still alive. She's still here, honey. It was one of the most stressful nights of my life, child. Anybody who knows me, honey, knows that my mama is everything, honey. So just seeing her in the hospital and knowing that she had to have surgery stressed me out, honey. But she was like, now when are you going to finish your interview? Now, let me tell you, the lady wasn't paying no attention to where she was walking in front of the house, child, because she had her phone watching the damn interview.
Oh my God. Oh.
So it's all our fault. And
Who's watching this one?
She was watching this interview, literally. She got out of her car to walk to the front door because my mom is a hoarder of all kind of nonsense, and she loves to set up the house for all the occasions. So there's a scarecrow sitting by the door, and the scarecrow fell over. So she said, well, let me just stop in the driveway real fast and get out and fix the scarecrow. But she was holding her phone, honey, trying to see what was going on because she didn't want to miss nothing. And she missed the step and fell, child.
Oh my God.
But she is doing well, honey. She is back to her crazy self, honey. She's downstairs watching the interview again, honey, as we speak. But she's doing well. Thanks everybody who reached out to me. Thanks everybody who gave me prayers and well wishes, who've called, who've come to check on her. I just appreciate it, honey. Now we can get back to the business of the things, honey. Okay?
Exactly. Because and when we left off, we had just finished talking, or you had just finished explaining what your journey was like. Explaining to your parents about coming out as trans and that whole process. So the next transition is that we're going to talk about how you actually came across the Chasing Reality platform. Like, did you see anybody else that you were affiliated with a part of the platform already? Did they reach out to you for their second season? How did you guys come in partnership?
So I had previously watched like Chasing Atlanta. Like I wasn't like a super duper diehard watcher or anything like that, but I had watched it and I knew about the platform. I never even knew that they were filming like a Chasing LA, which was so funny because after I got on the platform, then I saw old posts where they were asking about people in Los Angeles. So I knew Jeremy prior to signing up for this. So when they put out the flyer, I literally saw the flyer like on the last day, and a lot of people kept saying, you should do it. Like they need other points of views. They need different type of people on the show. They need what I bring. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, let me just, send it in, honey. Today's the last day, honey. Like they were like, send a video in telling us why that we should pick you. I was like, I don't have time to do that. I sent a video that I had from a birthday party of mine, honey. It was literally like a 7-minute video from my birthday party that my videographer put together of me just having fun with my friends. And I was like, well, if they like it, they like it. And if they don't, they don't. They called me about a couple of days later, honey, and here we are.
I mean, honestly, that's usually the case. Like you see people that are join these platforms that end up changing their lives or introducing them to so many people, and it's usually never just the direct. Oh, I just put in a regular audition. Like it was probably last minute. I think for her, she said that it was the day after the deadline that she submitted her stuff. So you never know. I mean, why not? The worst people can tell
I
you.
feel like what's meant for you will happen for you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's true. That's very
Absolutely.
true.
So, coming into the second season, did you have any preconceived notions about anybody from the cast?
I would say that I had inklings. I binged watched the first season right before we got ready to start filming, just because it's like a job interview. Once you get the job, you want to research the company just so you can know everything there is to know. So I didn't know who was coming back and who wasn't coming back, but I was just like, let me see who these people are, let me see what they're giving. And I was like, oh my god, it's kind of a shit show. Like, it was literally chaotic. It was chaos. And I was like, okay. So there were certain people that I was like, oh, I just know me and my personality, and I probably won't gel with these people, but who knows, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still open to get to know people. So I just kind of was like, let me see what it's gonna do, honey. I knew that I was gonna be true to myself. I knew that I was gonna be myself in any situation, in any circumstance. So it was like, if they like me, they like me. If they hate me, I guess that's just what it has to be. But I didn't think anybody was gonna hate me, y'all. I didn't think people wasn't gonna like me. I thought I am a likable person. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody likes me. Like, so this experience of having people not like me or having negative things going on with people, that was strange for me because everybody likes Nicole. Jamar, you hung out with me. Everybody likes Nicole, honey. I have a good time.
I do. We had a great time. We had a great time.
Yeah, he told me.
I still have to post that picture. I'll post it tonight when we get out the interview.
Yeah, like, I'm a good time child. Well, now I gotta hang out with you, Scotty. You seem a little feisty, like you might be a good time too, child.
Am I?
Girl, get her a great time. Get her energy. She is a great time. I'm just saying. But yeah, we definitely have to hang out because I was telling everybody, like, now that I have contacts and sort of resources out in LA, because I didn't really have too many people that look like me in LA that I could really reach out to, and whenever I go there for like DragCon or whatever businesses opportunities, I can like hang out with some of my girls outside.
Absolutely, huh? And you'll see, what you see on the show is not an accurate depiction of the LA gay scene to me, in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? Like, because it was
Mhm.
funny when I got on the show, I was like, well, where did y'all actually find these people? Like, I've been going out for years and I've never seen any of them.
I mean,
Mm.
I would have loved to know where they were because when I was living in LA, my entire gay existence was West Hollywood, Rage, all the clubs that are hardly even there anymore.
Right. Rage just shut down though, like during the pandemic and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Raging's like Raging Saddles. I forget which one it was.
Oh, the Saddle Ranch.
It was across the street. It was
You know,
just Moscow.
but Rage has always been popular. The Abbey has been popular for
Oh yeah.
years. Things of that nature. So WeHo is just, it's the hub, of everything. But now with club promoters like Brandon Anthony and things of that nature, he's branched out to like downtown Los Angeles. So there's a lot more areas where people can go. People go to Long Beach, Hamburger Mary's, things of that nature. So it's a lot more stuff to do now than there was before. I don't go out that often, but
I love Precinct too. The last time I went.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But when I do, baby.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Go ahead, Scotty.
Okay, so going into the season, did you have in mind what kind of character you wanted to play on the show? Because I feel like sometimes on these shows, people come in and they be like, well, I'm gonna be this person, I'm gonna be that person, I'm gonna be, So did you have that in mind, or did you just come in as yourself?
I just came in as myself. Like, I'm a jokester. I'm hilarious. Like, I'm fun. I'm a good time. Like, I'm the type of person that wants everybody to have a good time, and I'll do whatever it is in my power to ensure that everyone has a good time. You know what I mean? Like, I will use my resources. I will use my connections. I will use whatever I have to use to make sure everybody has a good time. Now, I think I did go in trying to be myself, which I was, and that's kind of what backfired on me, because the way that I conduct myself with my friends I didn't realize that I can't conduct myself that way with strangers.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've had to meet new people in a friendship type setting. You see what I'm saying? And this was a friendship setting. So when I meet new customers at the salon, or when I go to companies and do business dealings with other people and things of that nature, it's a business thing. But when it comes to hanging out, I'm going to be my normal jokester self. I'm going to be my normal talk shit self. I'm going to be me. So I guess maybe I should have just gave them like 40% of me and saved the other 60% as the season progressed on. But I just came in, baby, at 100. Like, this is me. What's going on, honey? If your wig is dry, I'm going to call it dry. If your shirt the wrong color, I'm going to say it's the wrong color. If you don't show up, I'm going to say you don't show up. Like that, you know what I mean? I didn't think I was being mean. I didn't think I was being hurtful. I didn't think it was anything that anyone was going to take super, super offensively. I thought maybe, if anything else, honey, I shoot the shit, you shoot the shit. We laugh about it and we move forward.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
So our first few scenes of you were in your store in your Thanksgiving dinner. I think it was a Friendsgiving dinner, I
At
believe.
Friendsgiving,
So how were you feeling seeing yourself on screen for the very first time? Because I know that can be
I was
weird.
cute.
So
I thought I was cute, child. I was like, oh, yes, honey, I'm cute. Come on. Here's the thing. My goal for the whole season was just to make sure, honey, I was pretty. If nothing else, baby, I wanted to be cute, and that was it. Because I told y'all, honey, I came here for the Instagram followers and for the boys. So I just want to be cute and get me some boys. Like,
Not the boys.
I mean, that was what I came here for. So, you know, I was like, you know, I'm just here. But no, I felt like I looked amazing, you know.
It was the walk up to the store and the turnaround, look at the camera for me.
And the funny thing was, like, I really was just walking up and I was really just opening the door. The way Andario slowed that thing down and smacked it up and flipped it, and the way T. Watson captured it, like, it came out amazing. And we really it wasn't planned. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally an organic me walking up and tapping, because we have a buzzer and I have to, you know, buzz myself in and open the door. So I was literally just like, the way they slowed that thing down, baby, they made it look like I had a little
like he was doing this on a fashion runway. It's like,
right, honey. Y'all saw that hair flinging, honey. That press I was pressing that day, honey. That thing flung around, honey.
I said, I wonder how many times they had to do that. I said, maybe
it was the one time.
Sure. All right, then. Wear it out.
okay, so your Thanksgiving nude color event was the beginning of the drama with the sweater stuff and the stuff with Jayla. So do you feel like if Jayla was present and if Fly King was in dress code, with those two relationships taking a different path than it did?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't think in that moment that me and Fly King's relationship took a wrong turn. Like, I don't understand what world we live in where at my home, at my event, I cannot call someone out on something that was wrong. You know what I mean? And I didn't say it disrespectfully. I didn't say it in an evil tone. I literally said, let me give you a hug first so you can know that I'm embracing you. I'm welcoming you into my home. Because mind you, he had been there for some hours. So it wasn't just like as soon as you walk in, boom, off the rip, I'm just digging into you. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally like, okay, we were outside, we had a couple of drinks, we embraced each other. Now it's like, let's go over here and let's have a talking moment. And I'm like, well, hey, let me just let you know there was a theme. This time I'm gonna let it slide, but in future reference, just if there's a color theme, there's a color theme. There was nothing negative about it. There was nothing nasty about it. You know what I mean? Like, I literally just said it. I think what he claims where the issue came in was he felt like I continued to talk about it. And I was just like, well, sir, that's all I know about you. At that moment. You know what I mean? Like, at that moment, that was all I knew. Like, I've still yet to go to one of his battle raps. He eventually down the line gave me some of the body butter, which is amazing. So now I know about his products and things of that nature, but we've never had conversations on like how you make the products, how you came up with the idea for the products, how you know what I mean? How you cultivated this thing to get to where you're at. I feel like we have a lot of superficial conversations every time we're in a group setting. There's never been a deep, sincere moment with half these people. Now, as it pertains to Jayla, I feel like if she was there in that moment, it definitely would have changed our relationship, because I did not carry the bone back to her. If there was no moment where we weren't in one another's presence for someone to carry a bone back to her, there would have never been a chance for it to be so negative. You see what I'm saying? Like, because it wasn't negative. It was just like, okay, girl, you invited somebody and you didn't come, and that's a no-no in my book. So I'm looking at you now because your etiquette is not all the way right.
And that's true. And then just in the realm of reality TV, it's a situation where breaking the fourth wall. They had to
Yeah.
introduce Richmond to the group, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just unfortunate that Jayla was not there to really
Introducing.
introduce
Right.
him as the plus one. He just kind of had to show up on his own, like, hi.
And here's what I'll say, right, to break the fourth wall, as you say, because people are acting as though, well, girl, you saw him at the door, you saw cameras behind him, you knew that it was just for the storyline, you knew it was just for this. So are you guys asking us now to not react organically to these things? Would you guys like us to be like, oh yes, there's a camera crew here, so you are supposed to be here. Come on in, let's just sit down and act like nothing happened. Then where would the authenticity be in that? You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, I eventually learned that he was a cast member after I opened the door, but I literally just heard a doorbell ring and I opened the door and I'm like, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm Jayla's plus whatever. I gave them my general actual reaction. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, well, they already told me she wasn't coming, so it's cool. I know they only told her to invite you so it can be part of the storyline. You know what I mean? Like,
and even if they were part of the show, you would wonder, okay, so who are you? What brings you?
Who are you? What are you doing here? You're at my front door. You're at my home. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I mean, we all watched Housewives season 1, honey. They didn't let Nene in charade party, honey, and she had a camera crew of 1,000 people with her. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are organic things that organically happen, and we have to respond to them in an organic way. We're not allowed to act as though the cameras are here, things are going on, stuff like that. We can't do that. Like, we have to literally respond to them as if they're happening in real time, because they are. Otherwise, you guys are going to be like, oh, this stuff is scripted. Oh, this is made up. Oh, this is this. Oh, this is that. Do you regret bringing up Jayla's absence so much? No, I don't. Somebody asked that in time. I don't. I mean, here's the thing.
It has to go on.
The show has to go on. Let me ask you guys a thing. Take out all the times I ever brought up her absence, and then how many times is she a part of the show? Like, I'm not being funny, but if you're way in Vegas or wherever you are and you're not showing up, if no one talks about you in the scene, you're essentially not a part of the show anymore. So take out anything that I've ever said, or anytime they allege that I brought her up, because I never bring her up. She's like, you know what I mean? She's literally not a topic of my discussion. But once y'all bring her up, I feel like it's free game. It's just like posting something. If you post something on your social media, don't be like, well, you guys should mind your business and not comment on it. But you posted it. So if you take out all the times that I ever said, where's Miss Girl at? Why is she not showing up? Like, I literally made the season for her. You're welcome.
Lord have mercy.
And that's not me being shady, though. Like, you see what I'm saying? I'm not being shady. Like, I literally made the season for you. I mean, we're 9 episodes in. Have we heard some music? Have you put out a new song?
Yes.
You heard a new song?
They performed at King Payne's comedy thing.
But that song was already released on the last season.
Was it?
I'll keep drinking.
Look, I thought it was just the Roly last season. I thought she said
it literally came out like around the reunion time or something like that. From what I've heard, y'all.
I didn't.
But it's been 2 years. 2 years, 2 songs. Does that make me a recording artist?
Oh, Nicole, where am I here to see?
I'm just asking the questions, y'all. Like,
it's your turn, Jamar. It's really your turn.
I'm just saying, guys. I mean, I still love her. Love you to death, girl. Hey.
Give me 1 second. Okay.
I'm just saying, y'all. Like, y'all are not gonna sit here and act like. I mean, hello. I've literally been at my salon. I've literally had a charity event. I've literally had a Friendsgiving event. I've literally been on a cast trip. I've literally been on set. You know what I mean? Like, I've done things. If there was not me talking about her, we have her lip singing at King Payne's event. And we have her arguing with me in Palm Springs. Like, that's it, really. Like, other than that, like, I don't know. Maybe she's
So
revving up, honey. Maybe she's revving up to kill it at the end of the season. I don't know. Maybe she started off, a little slow, and she's revving up to kill it at the end of the season.
Who knows? Who knows?
I know that Rich Baum has an interview on another channel today. By any chance, where they're in alignment of the interviews? No, because I was doing this interview last week and we had to stop abruptly, so now we're finishing it out. So, but yes, please watch my brother Rich Baum at 7 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, honey, on his interview.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely go check that out later.
I'll be there to support.
I think, let me see, how do I answer this question? Because I think there was the after show, the very first after show that Andre did. And I want to say it was the after show of either this episode or the episode with the Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving dinner or the one after it. And when you guys were up there, you could easily tell that there was friction between the two of you at the time. But I don't think it had showed on the show yet, or at least to that degree.
It hadn't. When Andre did the after show, it was definitely episode 2. And all he wanted to talk about was episode 1, because that episode was about him, and episode 2 was about me. But you guys have to remember, we filmed that stuff in March. Like, we've been filming since last November.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I think when people see us interacting on social media, or they see us interacting on interviews, or they see us fussing and fighting, it's because we've literally had a whole year to beef with one another or not get along, and you guys are just barely seeing it. Like, he and I fell out in March. So this is where we're at from March.
What was your first impression of him at the Thanksgiving dinner?
I actually liked him. Like, it's so crazy that we're in the space that we're in right now, because when I first met him, I watched him last season, and what I told him was, the very first thing I said to him after I met him and I gave him a hug and we were chit-chatting for a little bit, I said, I watched you on the show last year. I really thought I was probably gonna have to cuss you out a little bit, and then we would become best friends. Like, I thought you were a little bitchy and you had a little smart mouth on you. And I said, I thought we probably might get into it and then be the best of friends for the rest of the whole year. You know what I mean? Like, that was my little take. And I said, but you're actually sweet. Like, the person that was yelling and screaming and doing all that, you're actually not that guy today, at least. So he and I, in the beginning, we used to talk like every couple of days. We would text each other. Like, you know what I mean? We would hang out a little bit off camera. Like, we were literally, good friends until the Palm Springs moment. And here we are.
I was just going to say, like, where did it go left for you?
In Palm Springs.
When was it like you felt like he was, because I remember I watched the moment happen, and it was like you, him, and I want to say Poetic on the couch, and there was a discussion of the sweater again, and I think he was like,
"Oh, that was in San Diego. That was that. That was looking in San Diego." And it really wasn't a discussion of the sweater, y'all. I was just making small talk, and I was like, if you're a fashion stylist and you dress people for a living, like, why you didn't help your friend find something nude for my party? Because they're two people, they talk all the time. Like, they've said it on their lives, they've said it in their interviews. They talk 2-3 hours a day. So my thing is, like, if Jamar is my good Judy and I dress people for a living, if we're both going to the same event and nude is the color, in what world am I not being like, oh, hey, friend, like, what are you going to wear? What are you going to wear? You see what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you just help pick your friend out something nude? Maybe he didn't know what nude was. So it literally was like, it wasn't that deep to me. And I guess maybe the way my brain works, it's not that deep, but to other people, it was that deep. So it wasn't like I was saying something I had never said before. I said the sweatshirt wasn't the right color when I met the man. So it's not like I'm saying some slick shit that I've never said to him, to his face. You see what I'm saying? People get so offended when you say stuff to their face. Like, would y'all rather I text message it? Would y'all rather I put a piece of paper up and hide behind my hand and say it? All I said was, hey, Jamar, if you dress people for a living, why you didn't help your friend pick out something nude?
If I were to play devil's advocate, I would, just because of, if I knew Ian, the way that Andre knows Ian dresses himself very well. So I feel like I wouldn't have to worry about him. Just in my mind, that's the only thing I can think of. So I feel like I probably wouldn't have to worry about it. Now, if he was somebody that I knew was kind of fashionably challenged, then, perhaps. But maybe that was why.
I mean, it's just like if I'm going somewhere with one of my friends, I don't care if she showed up to my house and we're supposed to leave in 10 minutes. If her hair is not right, honey, I'm running in my bag and I'm getting some stuff and I'm getting it together because we represent each other. As friends, we represent each other. You see what I'm saying? I think it's just like, I'm not going to allow my friend to go into a situation and get off to the wrong foot. Like,
I definitely see your point. Though. So it seems like ever since you guys met, Rich Bomb is probably the one member on the cast that you're the closest to. What is it about it that draws you two together, you think?
He's just a cool person. Like literally what I think people don't see is Rich and I like communicate off camera. I kept trying to stress that to people. Like in the beginning, I was hitting everybody up like, hey guys, you guys want to come over for dinner? You guys want to go hang out? Because I feel like if we only see each other when these cameras are rolling, we never get to genuinely learn each other. And that's kind of how things start to go left because we were just thrown into this fire. Well, I was thrown into it. Like all the newbies who didn't have genuine friendships with people prior to going into this, you're kind of thrown into a fire. And typically there's a get to know each other moment. And unfortunately ours is on the camera. So while you guys are trying to see us navigate through a friendship, it's all being filmed. So me and Rich, like we call each other, we check on each other. We have a lot of things in common. Even poetic, like I'm pretty close to him as well. Like we hang out literally, like if we film, we'll hang out afterwards and we'll go out. Or if I'm in his neighborhood or in his area, I'm like, hey, you want to go grab a drink? Or if I have an event coming up, I'm like, hey, you want to come to my event? You want to come over? You want to do this? You want to do that? So it's about cultivating these relationships behind the camera so they can play out in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But Rich is cool, honey. I don't know why the people, they don't like him all the time. He is a lot. He is aggressive. I just feel like, I mean,
I love Rich.
Means well, but he is very abrasive in approach. I'll put it like
right. He is very abrasive, but he's a good person at the end of the day. Like the people that he loves and that he cares for, you know what I mean? Like literally in Palm Springs, honey, I almost died off the ATV, honey. And he went to the stove, got me some medicine, patched me up, honey, and made sure I was okay. You know what I mean? Like checked on me. Huh?
What's ATV?
The ATV in Palm Springs, I almost died.
What is that?
It's like a motorized bike.
We
rode it in Palm Springs, like we were out in the dirt and whatnot, honey.
Oh, okay.
I've never done it before, and I'm really not adventurous like that. And I was trying to be grown, and I flew off that thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a drink or something. I'm like,
oh no. It's like a like a motorized little moped bike type thing. And I flew and went tumbling, honey. I hit my ass and had a bruise this big. I scratched my leg, child.
Oh no. Somebody had put in a question in the chat that said, after your initial season on Chasing, do you feel bitten by the reality bug? Do you see yourself on any other reality series in the future?
There may be some reality series in the future already. Absolutely. I knew for a long time that I was interested in doing reality TV. I kind of just wanted the right setting. Like I've been approached for a few other things, and I don't, I typically wouldn't have wanted to be thrown in this situation. Like I'm not even the nicest person to meet new people. So just hanging out with 8 random strangers, that was a lot for me. You know what I mean? Like, but absolutely, like I would do it again. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna have a lot of projects coming up, so you guys stay tuned for all of that. I mean, don't y'all want to see me on y'all screen? Honey, I'm a good time.
That's true. That's true. I love my son Nicole, and Nicole are trying to get me drunk at the club. But so it seemed like
I just want everybody to be drunk at all times. I feel like everybody should be drunk.
I see there was just rounds and rounds of liquor coming to the table.
And look, and I'm the type of friend, honey, I don't even tell people they coming, honey. I just hand you drinks like, boom, drink that.
See, that's dangerous. I need to know that. Now that I know, I need to make sure I've eaten.
Because if you give people an opportunity to turn it down, nobody's gonna refuse your drink that you've already paid for because they're like, oh man, I can't waste their money. You know what I mean? But if I'm like, hey, you want another drink? You have a chance to be like, nope, I don't.
See, this is the manipulation of it all.
Manipulation 101, honey, according to Nicole.
Oh my God.
At the mixer at Jeremy's house, it seemed like William Davies rubbed everybody the wrong way upon entering the room. And why do you think that was?
I just think it's his demeanor and how he comes off. You know what I mean? It gives me very characterization, and it doesn't come off authentic to me. You know. So when he walked in, what people didn't get to see, like you guys heard him when he walked in. I'm William the Daddies, and I'm the thickest white boy. Hey, what's up? Let's take a shot. Like just even like twerking in the hallway in this man's nice Caucasian apartment complex. Twerking in the hallway while you're waiting on somebody to answer. Like, you don't gotta do all that, bro. Just come in and say, hey, I'm William. Nice to meet y'all. How's it going? Like all that, I'm the thickest white boy, and da-da-da-da-da. Like all that, it don't take all that. Like, you don't have to do all that. Then to wear this money jumpsuit that was ill-fitting, like you asked for this attention that you're getting from us, but I think you thought it was gonna go over well and it kind of backfired on you. Like the man came to the premiere party, honey, with devil wings on, angel wings in black, a bodysuit. Like in the cast photo, he has on a corset. I'm just confused. Like it's very much you want attention so bad that you're willing to embarrass the shit out of yourself to get it.
You know, it just really does not do any justice to get just ran just run through the mud on two separate platforms. And your ass is over the key and can't even help yourself.
And you know, and it's so funny because I'm getting the brunt of all the whole William this and William that, but everyone has said something on publicly,
Oh my
on
God.
social media, on the camera, honey. I understand I'm a force. So anytime I say something, people hang on to that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, everybody done said something, child. Scotty can't even hold it together over there because he's so like,
I just was the bat wing and all, was that public?
Oh my God.
Anywhere to where we can see it?
yeah, you got it was at the premiere party, child.
Whose games was that on? Where can I find it?
You can probably find it on Chasing Reality's page, perhaps, or Quentin's page, because he has like a photo of all the cast people.
Ooh, I gotta go back far. I may look at that while Roddy does his court.
Child, let me try to help y'all out. Oh wait, here we go. Wait.
Oh my God, I can't take it.
Am I back? I think my thing froze. Can y'all see
No,
me?
you good. You good.
StreamYard tried to get me together just now.
God try to block the child.
I said, I think you have another comment in the comment section for
Can
you.
we see, please? I'm gonna try to find it for y'all, child. I promise I am. Oh, okay, wait. Look, can y'all see this, honey? Y'all see him right there?
Girl, did they fall off?
I'm gonna send it to you, child.
So when someone said a birdie had whispered that you've never been courted by another platform for a new series, any tea you can share?
Oh, I don't know anything about that. You know, I don't know. I mean, y'all just gotta stay tuned, honey. Follow me on Instagram at Nicole Ray here, honey, to find out all things. Nicole Ray.
Come on, PR answer.
Do I need to go to the next question?
Go to the next question. You can gather yourself, Cheryl.
Okay, so at the mixer.
You're cackling at William. Good. Take a moment.
At the mixer, okay, I can get through. At the mixer, Andre had called Jayla on FaceTime, and that is where you made the comment about her surgery being at Dollar Tree, all that good stuff. And a lot of people took your comments as shots to Jayla. Tell us, were you initially being shady in that moment, or were your words possibly taken out of context?
They were definitely taken out of context. What people didn't get to see, because like I said, we were there for hours. So what people didn't get to see, Andre came in and being Jayla's spokesperson, like, you know, I was just with Jayla yesterday and she's not going to be able to make it because she just had surgery. She just had surgery. Those are his words. So when King Payne gets there and Andre chooses to call Jayla on the phone, kind of trying to spite King Payne, like, oh, I thought this was your good Judy, but watch me call her and let me gag you, because that's really what it was. He was attempting to gag King Payne. So I'm sitting above him, so I look over and she has a mask on, honey, and she's walking around the store. And I was just like, well, child, I thought y'all said she just had surgery. It looks like she's at the dollar store. Like, it don't look like somebody that just had surgery. Like, when I got these titties done, honey, I was laying down. You know what I mean? That's all it was. It really wasn't. I didn't say she got her body done at the dollar store. I didn't say her body looked like a dollar store body. I'm just saying, because, you know, I know Walmart when I see Walmart. I know Target when I see Target, honey. I know Macy's when I see Macy's. And it was giving me very much like, you know, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, like, not in a bad way, because those stores are not bad, but it was just giving me like, you know, like one of those types of stores on a smaller scale. So I was like, well, it looks like sis is at the dollar store. Like, I mean, I thought she just had the surge. like, so did you just have the surge, or did you just not want to come? I didn't care either way it goes. I'm just asking. I was just asking.
Okay.
We later found out in Palm Springs that she was actually in the 7-Eleven. It wasn't giving me 7-Eleven vibes, child, because I know 7-Eleven when I see 7-Eleven, honey, because I likes me a good big gulp. So I know 7-Eleven and them taquitos and them snacks. Like, I knows me some 7-Eleven. But that's what she said, so we're going to run with that.
So
if you're watching Jayla, I apologize for disrespecting the 7-Eleven and calling it the dollar store. I'm very sorry about that, ma'am. You were at 7-Eleven getting a bagel. I'm so sorry. I apologize for disrespecting all the 7-Eleven across the land.
Okay, so can you walk us through how we ended up with a screaming match between you and William the Baddest? Why do you think he was so upset at your Malibu Most Wanted comment?
William wanted a moment, y'all. That comment, I made that comment way in the beginning. And if you got
here we go again.
Oh Lord, somebody must be calling. Somebody must be calling. Look, listen. I can't hear. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh, child. Let me get my life.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
We back?
Yeah, we back.
Okay.
Yeah, you good.
So if you heard me when I walked in, I was like, I was being.
Not again. Not again. Not again. We can't hear you.
I think StreamYard is StreamYarding right now because it keeps trying to freeze for me too. They keep trying to freeze for me too. So let's let StreamYard get itself together.
Because, baby, I am hollering right now, and I'm trying not to do that, but, oh, Lord Jesus.
I
am. There she is.
Now, these customers know not to be calling me honey at this time of the day. Anywho, so yeah. So back to the story. So when I walked in, I was like Malibu's Most Wanted because I was drunk, and that was funny to me. I'm the type of person, if I give somebody a nickname, honey, that's how I'm going to refer to you all the time. So it wasn't trying to be derogatory. I was not trying to be disrespectful. I was just like, you know, hey, I'm not here for you right now. I'm coming to talk to King Payne, but I still love you. Have a nice night. You know what I mean? I was very playful about it. So he, you know, no one had been giving him the attention that he wanted all night long. He hadn't really been. Once he walked in and we all kind of laughed, we really weren't paying attention to him like that anymore. So he needed like a standout, breakout moment. And that's when he chose to get his moment, child.
Because in the trailer, we was looking at it, he was like, I ain't never said shit to you. And you looking like...
Because I didn't know he was talking to me. Like, I literally did not know this man was talking to me because I was not even looking at him. Like, if anybody pay attention, I'm looking at King Payne and I'm literally over here and he just starts spilling off stuff. Like, but he claims he's so booked and he's so busy. Now, why did you need a moment, honey, on this show? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, if you're the moment and your name rings bells and you're that girl... You don't gotta get into it with me for no moment, baby. Like, you don't gotta start no mess for no moment, child. You should have enjoyed the fact that I called you Malibu's Most Wanted, honey. The people gagged. They laughed. They thought it was hilarious. It was funny. Like, what world are we living in where people can't take jokes no more? Like, the shit was funny.
And then Daria put up a damn comparison of side by
And
side.
did they not remind you of one another, child? Like, if anyone has seen that movie, like, he's literally the walking example of that movie.
Well, alrighty then. So,
I love
okay.
remember just be reading William down. Everybody.
So they do. So that scene with Jayla, William, and King Payne, they had a lot of comments about you. How did you feel about that particular scene when they was all having their things to say about you?
I thought it was interesting that everybody was so upset with me for saying things about her allegedly behind her back, and they had to run back and tell her. But these people literally just had a dragging session of me, and nobody cared nothing about it. They were like, "Oh well, she said something about them, so they got every right to drag her." You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, at that moment, I hadn't said anything physically to her. She had never met me. She didn't know me. So she was still talking about a person she hadn't met. So we both essentially did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the things that I said weren't derogatory. I never called her old. I never called her ugly. I never called her fat. Like, she literally said derogatory things about me, and everybody's just like, "Oh, well, you deserved it." So I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, you guys had your minds made up prior to me even opening my mouth." I could have said, "Where's this lady at? Her nails are so beautiful." They didn't care nothing about that. They just cared that I said anything about a season 1 person, because newbies, honey, should be seen and not heard, honey. I should have just scrolled in the room and sat there pretty and be held up. But I just thought it was funny. I mean, I didn't take no offense to it. Like, girl, okay, boom, you got me back. You see what I'm saying? It was kind of like you got your lick back, in my opinion. So in my opinion, at that time, we was even. I said something about you. You said something about me. We're even. Now in confessionals, King Payne felt you should have stayed out of his beef with Andre. Wasn't giving that same energy in person. No, not at all. He wasn't giving me that energy at all in person, child. In person, like, he was listening to what I'm saying. Like, I'm just coming out here trying to figure out how do we resolve this. Literally, we got Andre in the bathroom crying. We got King Payne out here saying everybody's using drugs. I'm just like, look, we ain't got but so much space in this man's apartment.
In this man's what?
In his apartment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jeremy has a lovely home, honey, but it's an apartment. So there's a living room area, a dining room area, there's a bedroom, and there's a bathroom. We weren't going to go in his bedroom because that's his personal bedroom where he has to lay down and where his personal things are. So we had the bathroom and the living room. I'm sick of going in this bathroom to console Andre because he's crying. Like, I would like to come out here and figure out how we get to a resolution, because at this point, it's given very much like y'all could just agree to disagree. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to say that I should stay out of it, then why are we here? Take this conversation on the balcony. Take this conversation in another room. They continue to have conversations in public in front of us and then ask us not to have an opinion on
it. But just ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore. You guys don't hear anything. There's no one saying anything. Last question. If given a chance on season 3, who would you want casted with you? The people I like.
Well,
I'm just kidding. We can bring back some people I don't. I think that everyone should come back, minus probably like 2 people. But other than that, I think everyone should come back. All right. I'm just saying there's 2 people that is always an issue with them. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like we're not getting anywhere with William. There's nowhere for us to go with him. You know what I mean? Like, every time something happens, then he tries to act as though we're treating him some type of way because he's the only person that's not Black. You know what I mean? He's giving us the Kim Zolciak of the season. So it's kind of just like, not the Kim Zolciak. You literally falling out with everybody. Like, you're mad at me. You're mad at Hershey. You're mad at Poetic. Like, you're literally mad at everybody, child. And it's just like, okay, what, you didn't bring it up to the season. You know, and then there's another person, honey, who, I mean, they don't be showing up no way. So if they're not here, we wouldn't cry.
Oh, Lord. So on the cast trip, you, Andre, and Fly King I had gotten to sort of a discussion or a screaming match about the details regarding Jayla and her surgery. What was this argument like really about? Was it whether or not it was true or not, or like what was the discussion?
No, the argument was dumb as hell. Like, the argument was so dumb, and after the argument was over, I was mad that we even had it. Mind you, we have been cool. We were cool. Like, we literally talked to each other the whole drive to the trip. Like, they were driving, I was driving, we were literally on the phone, going over details, things of that nature. We have been in the house for quite some time, talking to each other, just getting all our details together before the camera people actually got there to start rolling the cameras, you know? So we're going over like who's coming, this and this and that. And all I said to them was just like, you know, oh, King Payne is coming, because I knew he was coming. They tried to make it seem as though they were telling me something I didn't know. We clearly had a list of who paid, who didn't pay, so we knew who was coming. I just said the last time I met him, he wasn't that friendly. I hope that he comes in better spirits this time. You know what I mean? Like, that was my whole thing. Then they want to start attacking me like, well, you weren't in good spirits when it comes to Jayla. You were mean to her. How do you be mean to somebody you've never met? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not an opportunity for me to be mean to her. Was I going to be shitty to her when she showed up to this house? Absolutely not. I'm not that kind of person. Because I asked where she was, I wasn't going to ask her when she got here where she been at. I probably would have after a couple of drinks, but I was not going to be nasty to the girl because I never had a nasty spirit when it came to her. I think people keep trying to paint the picture that I was upset, I was angry, I was whatever. I'm just like, well, girl, hello, where you at, girl? Everybody else showed up for the project. Where you at? So it was kind of just like a dumb argument. And I feel like, you know, here's Andre yet again advocating for this person, bringing her into the forefront, because we weren't talking about her. We literally were talking about King Payne and how I said that King Payne came to Jeremy's house with an attitude. And he did. I get it now because clearly he hadn't seen any of these people. He hadn't filmed anything with these people. Like, this was literally like his first scene with these group of people because, you know, Andre and him weren't speaking. Him and Poetic hadn't met yet. Ian is Andre's friend, so there hadn't been an interaction yet. So I get it now. Like, I've literally, at that time, it was January. I've literally been around these people since October. So, you know, we've already seen each other. But I get if this is the first time that you're going to see somebody that you have an issue with, that you would come in on 1,000 or come in with your guard up. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. But I was just like, well, hopefully, honey, he doesn't come here with that same energy. That was my only comment. And then typical Andre fashion, honey. Well, what about Jayla? Because he is Jayla's cheerleader this season, y'all.
Because I was like, wait, what is this conversation even about? Because I was like, what's the
root of the conversation? Right. Why are you yet again bringing up to me what you think I said, how you interpreted I said something? Yet again, you're bringing up something to me about what I said 3-4 weeks ago. Like, why are we still talking? You see what I'm saying? Like, why are we still talking about this? But no one's paying attention to that. People overlook the initial impact of the conversation and just strictly get to, they were arguing, they were having drama. She's talking about Jayla again. I didn't bring that girl up. I knew she was going to be here. I had a list of which cast members paid and which cast members didn't. I knew she would be here.
So speaking of when she did come, when Jayla first came into the room and you guys are eating, I mean, at least the way the editing put it, you could really cut like the tension with a knife.
Absolutely.
So what I want to know is like when you know you guys had the initial conversation and you know she was like, I want to you know come in with a clean slate. Let's start this thing over. Hi, my name is Jayla all over again. But you had like the response of like, oh no, this is really fake or whatnot. So what was like going through your mind in that moment?
So we have been sitting there for a while. She came in and the very first thing she said to me was, you know, hey girl, like, you know, at some point you and I need to have a private conversation. Mm-hmm. That was her first. And I said, okay, sure, no problem. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Because I already knew that we were going to have to talk about this. I knew that someone had said something. Of course, you guys know, like, we don't see the show. So I don't see anything anyone else films but me. But I'm just knowing as a person that someone has said something to her. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. And I'm sitting here trying to eat this taco. And I'm drinking my drink. And she's steady like, so what did you have to say? So we should talk about it. So this and that. And I'm just like, girl, you keep poking me. You keep poking me and you keep poking me. And if you want to fucking talk about it, let's just talk about it then. I could have swore you said, let's have a private conversation so you and I can just squash it. However, you keep making slick remarks. And I'm already drunk. So now I'm mad. Like, stop saying slick shit. You're not just going to talk to me any kind of way because you feel as though I did something to you. I don't care what you feel, baby. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way.
And then that frustration and the liquor led
Yeah,
into
that frustration plus the liquor, like, cause she said she came in there ready to fight. She came in with her hair pulled up in a ponytail, with a scarf on, like, bitch, I'm literally over here in a bustier and some high heels. Like, I didn't come here for that, bitch. I came to be cute and have fun. You came here to fight. So if that's what you wanted to do, you should have just pulled me to the side immediately. That's my thing. I wish she would have just pulled me to the side immediately and let's just have the conversation so we can get it over with. You know what I mean? Like, whether we gotta duke it out, whether we gotta argue it out, whatever, but don't just keep sitting here saying slick shit like, well, somebody's old and mad. Well, somebody is this. Well, somebody is talking about why I didn't have no surgery or I had it at the dollar store. You know what I mean? Like little smart stuff that y'all don't see. So she had been doing all of that. Then for you to turn around and be like, well, let's just bury the hatchet and let's just start over. Girl, that is not how life works. Like, you know what I mean? Like, girl, we're gonna have to let this thing simmer down a little bit. Like, you literally just kept saying slick stuff. So that's why in the midst of it, I turned to Andre and I'm like, this girl's energy is still very negative. Like, it's giving me very negative Nancy because I'm still laughing. I'm still having a good time. I'm really not saying much. People were like, oh, you were scared or you were backpedaling. I'm not saying much because I'm like, I get it. This is, you want to have a conversation with me. So I'm letting you have your conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying my hardest not to escalate this thing because I know as soon as I say something, my mouth is slick as hell. As soon as I open my mouth, baby, this thing is going to hell in a handbasket. And what happened? It went to hell in a handbasket.
So, of course, when you guys are angry at each other, of course, she's making her old comments. You make a comment about the prostitution, and everybody says things on that day, right? So when everything blew up, you guys had came to like an agreement. Later on the couch, like, we're just not going to have this kind of energy. What's you and Jayla's relationship look like today? Did that kind of stay that way or did it go to left again?
It went left again because of off-camera stuff. Like, as far as that, like, literally when we made up in Palm Springs, like, I meant it. We made up in Palm Springs. I invited her to some events. Like, I wished her happy birthday on her birthday. Like, we've had conversations, honey, that I will air at the reunion, child. Like, you know what I mean? We were cool. Like, we were literally cool. Like, when we left Palm Springs, she and I was in a good space. Like, that Palm Springs was in the beginning of March. We were in a good space all the way up until like June. We got in an argument. She said some negative things about my mother during the argument. Girl, you can say whatever you want about me, honey, but do not play about that lady. I don't play about her.
Got it. And we won't know those details until the reunion.
Yeah, so that's where we are today at this point. What did somebody say? But you were talking about her from the very beginning and she didn't even know who you were. That's kind of false, guys. I said she wasn't there and it's tacky to invite somebody that didn't come. But she knew exactly who I was because she found me on social media, honey, liked every single picture I had and started messaging me like a week later. She knew who I was because she had got the invitation. So she knew my information. I didn't know anything about this girl. You know what I mean? I didn't even know if she was coming back. We don't get to know who's on the show and who's not on the show until we meet them in that moment. So she knew about me because she was invited to my party. So she had the invitation, just like she was on a live and she was like, and I got your address from that invitation and you better not hope I don't pull up. Like, she knew who I was. I didn't know if she was coming back. So I never knew who she was. Like, so.
Go ahead, Scotty.
Okay, so where am I? Because I got a lot going on over here. So what advice would you give someone who is getting on reality TV for the first time?
I would say stay true to yourself. At the end of the day, if people like you, they like you, and if they don't, they don't. But if I would have switched who I was up to try to get the fans to like me, and it still didn't work, I would be mad at myself because I wasn't true to myself. So what I would say is be you. Like, you know what I mean? The truth will come out. Who you really are will be shown through, and the people that rock with you are gonna rock with you. And the people that don't, you know what I mean? People are always gonna find a reason to not like somebody, you know?
That's true.
On every single show, there's somebody that the people don't like. On every single show, there's somebody who they're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they said this, on every show. So just be yourself though, because at the end of the day, if you it's like conforming yourself to become something else for someone else, and then it doesn't work out. Now you're mad because you weren't yourself. So, just be yourself.
I agree. And a question I just thought of is I know that, recently on a post, there had been, this whole deal about Rich Bond's comments on, Andre's mother and, and that rant or what have you. And I think a lot of people who may not have seen the after show were looking to see like what your comments were, since you and Rich Bond were so close, and they know that you and Andre may not see, eye to eye right now. But what were your thoughts and feelings about that comment that he had made?
I feel in the moment, I don't feel that his intentions. First of all, I don't know that he knows that that boy's mom is dead. I don't know, because they literally have never really had conversations. They've never really been around each other. So I don't think that he meant to disrespect someone's deceased mother. You know what I mean? It was almost giving me when you're in elementary school, like, and somebody says something about you. What's the first thing you say? Your mama. Like, you see what I'm saying? It was giving me very much, he just threw that out. Now, what I will say is, once he had an opportunity to clear it up and didn't feel the need to clear it up, now you got to stand in what you said, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't, like I said, I don't support people talking about mothers. Like, his mother is deceased as well. So, I mean, I guess it's almost like a black person calling another black person a nigga. I don't know. It's still nasty to me. But I don't like the narrative that people try to paint stuff on. We are not who we hang out with. Like, his thoughts are his thoughts. My thoughts are my thoughts. Did I say something privately to my brother about what he said? Absolutely. Like, we had a conversation prior to everything blowing up. But at the end of the day, that's a grown man. I can't make him do anything he doesn't want to do. I can't make him apologize. I can't make him feel bad about it if he chooses not to feel bad. I think moms should be off limits. I think families, period, should be off limits. Children, parents, siblings, anyone who did not sign a contract to be a part of this should be off limits. Like, we sign up for these things, you know what I mean? So, and
Right.
even if
That's how I feel too.
yeah, even if we introduce these people to you on the camera, they still should be off limits. Like, I've seen some of the nastiest things being said about my best friend. I've seen some nasty things being said about moms. You know what I mean? Like, it's uncalled for. Like, if you can't attack the person themselves and read them down or do whatever you need to do and make them feel bad about themselves because of them, then you must, hey, step your game up.
That's true.
All right.
Like I said, I'm always like, people, it ain't got nothing to do with this. This is between me and
Yeah,
you.
it has nothing to do with me. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I don't want, like, I hate the fact that even on the after show, we had to have a whole 30-minute conversation. And I'm just like, I didn't say anything. It wasn't me. Like, we're literally, you know what I mean? Like, we're going around in a circle and I'm saying the same thing 1,000 times. It was not me. I do not support what he said, but I'm not going to sit here and bash him because that's for what? Like, why put negativity on more negativity? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have to stand on what I say. So if I get on here and I bash somebody, I have to be able to stand in that. So I'm not going to sit here and go toe to toe with my brother off camera behind the scenes about something negative that I said about him on here when I don't have negative thoughts about him. So you know what I mean? That was not my fight. That was his fight. That's how he chose to defend himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, would you return for another season?
I'll have to talk to the Lord about that. You know, I don't know.
I have to
I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. I would just hope. I mean, hopefully at the reunion we get some kind of resolve or we get some kind of mutual understanding. I wouldn't want to return if things continue the way that they've been going right now. Like, we're literally at odds, 90% of us. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like there's nowhere productive that we can go from here. It's almost to the point where it's like clicks. You know what I mean? Like, the people are clicked up with that they're clicked up with, and it's not productive. So I wouldn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna just hang out with Rich Baum and Poetic and Hershey and Jeremy all the time, like, I could just hang out with them. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna just, I could just call him. We could just go hang out. Like, if I'm gonna just hang with King Payne over here because him and Rich are beefing over there, or because this person, that person is beefing over there, like, it's not productive. You know what I mean? Like, even though I do have issues with certain people, like, I'm mature enough to be in a space with them and still try to figure things out. Now, y'all can't come to my stuff and I'm not gonna go to your stuff. But if someone else has something that is a neutral territory, like, I will go, you know, because I'm a bigger person like that. I'm not tripping. Like, I'm never gonna feel uncomfortable to be around somebody just because we're not getting along. But I wouldn't want to return if we don't figure out a way to coexist together at least.
Yeah.
And I would like for us to fit, like, you know what I mean? Like, people keep saying, like, oh, you're such a boss, you're such a business. There's been no settings for that. You know what I mean? Like, every time we get together, it's a messy question game, or it's a messy telephone game, or it's a, it's just a mess, 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 mess. Like what y'all saw, like on the last night of the trip, which was like my dinner and the karaoke. That's the type of stuff I like to do, child. I like to host fabulous events. I like to sing and do karaoke and have fun. And that's what I thought I was signing up for. You know what I mean? I knew, of course, we have to have some kind of arguments, some kind of disagreements, but I thought we were at least going to be able to come back to a center and be like, okay, boom, this happened. Let's move forward.
All right. Well, that's a good way to look at it. So are you looking forward to the reunion?
I am looking forward to reunion. I'm looking forward to, for me, I'm looking forward to the remainder of the season and for the reunion as well. Because as you guys know, we don't get to see what other people film. Mm-hmm. So when we left from Palm Springs, the friendships were what they were. The people who weren't getting along. So I'm interested to see if it remained that way. You know what I mean? Because I know how it remained on my end. I know how I felt about certain people. I know how I moved in conjunction with these people. So I'm interested to see, like, if people are really putting on, or if they're being their authentic selves. Like, if we make up, we make up. And if we're still beefing, we're still beefing. Let me know we're still beefing, But the reunion, I feel like, is a time where we all are going to be in the same room and we're going to get to discuss where we were coming from, or how we felt about certain things, or just at least talk about something, child. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a lot of stuff to unpack
in a peaceful, calm setting. Like, it's literally just up and stuck. Like, you see us, we get on lives, we're arguing and fussing and fighting. We get on interviews, we're arguing, fussing and fighting. We're on after shows. You know what I mean? Like, I'm appreciative that the last after show went the way that it did. I feel like it was one of our better moments, where we actually got to have dialogue and conversation, and it wasn't just So I'm hoping that the reunion gives that as well.
Before we get into the game, let me ask her this: do you blame production for the narrative that was put out there, or do you just feel like it just comes with the territory?
I don't necessarily want to say that I blame them, because I said the stuff that I said. I think that once they realized that, I was kind of outspoken and I was kind of like witty with what I did, they took that and they ran with it. You know what I mean? So there always has to be a story that's painted. You know what I mean? So I think that in future episodes to come, like, you guys will see, like, it kind of takes a shift, because I just wasn't willing to give them that same energy anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was sick of arguing with people. I was sick of fussing and fighting with people. Like, me and my friends don't sit around and do that. Like, so I was confused on how in this friend circle, like, this is just so normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all this he says, she says stuff. If Jamar says something about Scotty in my presence, child, I'm not going to pick up my phone and just call Scotty and tell him. I'm going to either correct him on what he said and move forward, or I'm going to let it go in one ear, out the other. You know what I mean? Like, what world are we living in where it's like, oh, guess what, Scotty? Guess what Jamar said? So next time y'all see each other, y'all can be beefing, and now I'm in the middle. Like, where we do that at? You know what I mean? Like, we're literally, everyone besides Jayla is in their 30s. Like, why are we doing these things in our 30s? Like,
right.
Nicole, whose side are you on, Rich or Andre? I don't think I'm on anybody's side. I think that it was very unfortunate, and I wish that it never happened. I'm not on anybody's side, though. I feel very bad for Andre. That doesn't mean I'm on his side. I don't, I think it was nasty. I think it was negative, but I'm not against Rich because he didn't say it to me.
Okay. Time for the game.
The first game is an oldie but a goodie that can, always works. It's Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Between three cast members on the show.
Okay.
Poetic, Jeremy, and Rich Baum.
That's a hard one.
Oh, Jesus. Why would y'all set me up? Now,
if we're going to bring you on, we're going to bring you on to have a good show.
That's a hard one. I can tell you that. That's a hard one.
I would probably fuck Jeremy, because I heard that Dingling is large and in charge, so I would probably fuck him. Oh, Jesus Webb. Oh my God. I would probably marry Poetic, just because he and I have a connection, and when we're together, like, we get along amazingly, and I low-key feel like, like, I could still be the boss of the relationship. And I wouldn't want to, but I would have to kill Rich, because Rich is real, like, you know, he give me very much. I'm gonna have to be like, niggas, leave me alone today. I don't want to argue with you. You know what I mean? Like, but he's a great provider and a great man, honey. I just, you know, I gotta kill somebody, honey. So I don't feel like I could kind of control. I'm the Candy Burris in my relationships, honey. So I need somebody that I could be like, Ty, we doing this, let's go. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like I could be that with Rich.
No, you can't.
That's true. And I mean, you gave a very vague answer to Rich Bond when he asked the question in Palm Springs. But so that night that y'all went out and Poetic came out your room, like, what happened?
We had a great time.
How so?
You know what I mean? We had a great time. There was a bed. He was there. I was there. You know, we had a great time. And then we, you know, it was peaceful. It was, you know, it was serene. You know, it was a good time.
Was it quiet?
No, there was some noise. Like, not, I don't know. You know, it's like a lot of noises in that house. But there was, you know, there was a lot of noises in that house.
From you or from him?
Noise all around. It was just noise all around. It was just noise all around.
Oh God.
Wow.
I believe hello.
But the funny thing is to talk about that night, y'all, like the way that they edited it makes it oh, that's your man Sofa Dog. You can have him back. You can have him back. You can have him back, child. The way that they edited the episode, it made it seem as though like I was right here. But I never saw those two kiss. I knew nothing about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were all in the club, but I think at the moment where they kissed, I was turning around talking to Rich, or I was turning around buying drinks or something like that. So I never saw it. Like,
Oh,
but if you guys saw the footage though, you saw Jayla gave me a lap dance in the club, honey. I was smacking her ass, honey. So we were good, you know what I mean? So I think it's crazy when I read comments and stuff and people are like, and you never take accountability and you never apologize. I'm like, y'all didn't see me and her turning up. We had a grand old time. Like, you know.
People see what they want to see. They just want to engage in the mess, child.
They just want to keep the mess going, child, and I'm not here for it. But yeah, so that's why I would give me some more people. Let's go.
The other game.
But that's it for the game. That's it for that game. We got one last game.
Rich. When you watch this interview, Rich, I really don't want you dead, Rich. I'm so sorry. I would just hide you, Rich. I wouldn't actually let them kill you. I would just hide you.
Not just hide. I mean, we could do another if you wanted me to come up with one on the spot. We could do that.
I wasn't. I really was not right there. Like I promise you, I wasn't. I was there, but I think I had my back turned. Like I didn't see it. Hershey saw it. Hershey was right there when the kiss went down. I didn't see the kiss go down. I did see her flirting, and I saw them, you know, canoodling or whatnot. Because when he came in, she jumped right on him. So I did see all of that, but I really didn't see the kiss. I didn't know nothing about the kiss until they told me about it, and then I didn't see the kiss actually until the trailer came out.
Yeah,
if I would have saw it, I would have told y'all I saw, honey. That wasn't gonna stop nothing. We already had an arrangement, honey. I had already made an appointment.
What kind of appointment?
For him to be in my
bed. The appointment, C appointment, or the D appointment?
Oh my God.
It was all of the above.
Oh. Never mind. Let me stop being this. Let me stop being messy. Okay, so here's the other game.
Okay.
You can name the cast members. You can just name the first word that comes to your mind, or like just your initial first thoughts.
Okay.
Starting off with Miss Hershey LaGorgite.
Love her.
Okay. King Payne.
Funny.
Fly King I.
I already used funny, but he's funny too though. Fly King I, he's cool. Like he's hilarious to me. Like he be coming up with the funniest stuff to say too. Like he's hilarious. Like he be really coming with the one-liners, honey. Like I see how he's a battle rapper, honey, because he be quick with the one-liners, honey. So he's hilarious.
Rich Bomb.
A man's man.
Okay.
Yes, he is, Lord. Go ahead.
Girl, there she go. You need a moist towelette?
You got a little crush, Scotty? What's going on here?
I don't know what Jamar talking about, child. Jamar
get Rich on the line, honey.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh
I know
no.
he has an interview. Could you do that?
Would I get him on the and I would. Hello.
I mean, Scotty.
We need to finish this interview. I have stuff to
Well,
do after this.
well,
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Well, tune into his interview, Scotty, and I'm gonna be in the comments, and I'm gonna make him, bring his milkshake to the yard, child. Let's go.
period.
Not his milkshake.
Poetic.
Sexy.
I have no disagreements there.
That's true. Jayla.
She sings really well.
She does. She does.
She does.
Mr. Jeremy Copeland.
It's the way she said it.
Jeremy. The first thing that comes to my mind, big dick. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind, child. That's the first thing I think about when I think about Jeremy. Right.
Father God.
William the Baddies.
Foolish.
Oh, Lord. And last but not least, your favorite person on the cast, Mr. Andre Hammonds.
The first thing that comes to my mind about Andre, he's a little messy.
That was the game. We made it through. That was much more tame than I thought it was going to be. Much more tame.
Yeah,
exactly.
just a little bit.
So at the end of all of our interviews, we always like to ask the question, to our guests, like, did you have a good time? Do you feel like, Scotty and I did our jobs as the hosts of the show? Like, give us your feedback on your experience.
Oh, absolutely. You guys were amazing, honey. You guys were very understanding. You guys were very, compromising, and you made sure to, get me back in, because some people could have been like, oh, well, girl, you had an emergency, honey. What they saw on the episode was what they saw, honey, child. We moving forward. You know what I mean? But no, you guys did a good job. You guys were very knowledgeable. You guys did your research, honey. Y'all had y'all bullet points, honey, because I would have been like, well, let's start at the top. Shit, I don't know. So no, you guys definitely, you guys are very professional. Even though Scotty couldn't stop laughing, but that's good because I'm a comedian.
But look, we want to get everybody's opinion so that we can, grow in places that we may need to grow and make sure we continue to do in the places that we're doing well.
No, you guys did a great job. You guys are very professional in how you put it together. You're very professional in the different segments. I like the fact that you guys have different segments and you guys don't just jump right into the mess. I think a lot of times when we come to these interviews and things of that nature, people skip over the fact that we're real people in real life. Like, we have businesses, we have lives, we have families, we have things that we would like to talk about outside of just the show. Like, I get that most people want to hear about the show. However, what's going to set you apart from the other interview we did talking about the show? You know what I mean? You guys asked me about my transition. You guys asked me about how it was getting to this place. You guys, you know what I mean? You guys are probably like one of the first people that, kind of got to some other questions that other people didn't ask. So it's all about setting yourselves apart from all the interviews. I mean, they've heard me talk about Malibu's Most Wanted 1,000 times, but you guys gave it a little bit more meat and potatoes in the beginning, so that drew people in so that we can get to the funny, messy stuff that everybody wants to hear about, So I think that that's very important.
I mean, that's good.
We and when I say this, I do not mean this in a negative way, but we don't want to be like everybody else. Like, everybody just want to talk about the mess. It's more to these people than just the mess you see on the reality shows. Like, we need to know about their background. We need to know how they came up. We need to know how they got into where they got into. We need to know how they got into the show. Then we get into the show. Then we get into the drama. Then we get into everything else. Like, it has to be a bit of a balance. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's what we be on. Like, we'll get into the shade, into the mess and stuff like that, but we do need to know about the beginning of everything. You know what I mean? Like,
there was a Nicole before there was a Chasing LA. There was a Nicole before I got on Chasing LA. There's still gonna be a Nicole after Chasing LA is over. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we here for? If we're just gonna talk about stuff people already saw on the show, child, y'all done seen it on the show, y'all done heard other people talk about it in interviews, and y'all are here to talk about it in the reunion. So it's kind of just like it gets redundant after a while, but to kind of mix it up and break it up and to make it to where people want to tune in, they want to stay tuned in, get to know the people as a whole. And I feel like the interviews are where people get to know us on a deeper level. You know what I mean? There's no editing, there's no chopping and screwing up a 2-hour conversation down to 22 seconds and 30 seconds over here, so that's important.
And
yeah, and that's. Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh,
Jamar. I'm talking too
no,
much.
fine. We I think just as we've done these, we've learned that asking those previous questions that are like personal to the guest gives you a lot more insight as to who they are as a person, and gives you more insight as to why they probably did the things that they did while on the show that we all saw. So now that we have all that additional information about your background, how you grew up, your family connections, and things of that nature, it might be like, oh, that may be why X, Y, and Z happened on the show.
Right.
Brings it all in. And it's usually my favorite part is to learn more about you that we don't know from the show, but we still want to get into the mess of the show.
And it doesn't help when you actually got to interact with the people that you're interviewing, so like you and I have interacted. So, you kind of know like, hey, y'all, like what that's, she's hilarious in real life. Like she's a good time in real life. And I think that a lot of times, these shows, they I'm not going to say that they paint certain pictures, but they only show you so much. You know what I mean? Like to think that we've been filming for 365 days and you guys have 9 hours of that. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot that goes on. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to us. There's a lot more to everybody. And everybody has more things going on outside of the arguments and the drama and the mess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or at least I think they do. I don't know. Some people got court TVs and bad boys and other little nonsense. I don't know. I think everybody has some kind of business goings on with the goings on.
Well, for me, these interviews kind of, if I had a certain opinion about a person on the show, when we do the interviews with them, it kind of puts them in a different light for me after I'm done talking to them, because you're talking to the person, not the reality person. That
right.
is.
What was your opinion of me, Scotty? Let's talk about it.
I thought you were shady. I thought you were shady as hell. However, I felt like you were good for the show, but I just thought that you was a bit too shady. But it's like when I did the interview with you the first time, I'm like, this is not what I saw on the TV, but I definitely enjoyed this one, this person in the interview way more than I do on the show. I'm just being honest. You asked for my opinion, I had to be honest about it.
Absolutely no, and that's what I'm saying. And it does, and I do come off like all I do is say shady stuff when it's just like a shady thing might be thrown in ever so often. You know what I mean? And that's what I wish you guys would get to see more of. Like they'll literally take like a long day and cut it down to the shady, messy parts. And I'm just like, well, what happened to all the other stuff we talked about? You know what I mean? Like literally when me and Rich were at my charity event and we were sitting down, we talked about relationships. We talked about if we ever wanted to get married. We talked about children. We talked about our work. We talked about him being a nurse. We talked about my salon. We talked about so many things. And it's like, you literally chopped it down to us talking about this green sweatshirt again. You know what I mean? Like you cut all that out. And chopped it down to this little bitty piece of mess. So it's like, it does seem like all y'all want to do is be messy. All y'all want to do is be shady. You know what I mean? Like when these conversations be long, like if you took this hour long right now, plus the 30 minutes we did the other day and chopped it down to only the messy, shady things that I said, then it would be like, oh yeah, she's just messy and shady. But no, when you get the whole picture, then you're like, hey, a little shady never hurt nobody.
Well,
I do have a final question. Is there anything you liked that you'd do differently next season? I feel like season 2s are better for people just because it's like we know each other already, so they kind of get me a little bit more by then. You know what I mean? So I mean, here's the thing: next season, if there's a next season, if I come back for a next season, hey, if ain't nobody there, I just ain't gonna ask nothing, child. I'm not gonna ask nothing. If you don't show up, damn it, you just don't show up, honey. If you would like me to have all the camera time, just tell me you want me to have all the camera time, and that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? But I don't know if there's necessarily too much that I would do differently. If somebody shows up out of wardrobe, I'm gonna say, oh, let me address something that I did not get to address, honey. Nobody talked about it. There was certain commentary coming from other people that, they were trying to see how I was gonna react to people not wearing white to the all-white dinner, child. The people that did not wear white, honey, well, the one person, Jayla, that didn't wear white, she came and talked to me prior to coming to the dinner and said, I didn't know, and this is the last dress that I have. Like, is this going to be a problem? And I was just like, if I tell you it's cool and just come on, I can't drag you at this point. You know what I mean? Because you talked to me about it. So the reason why, and King Pain, that was white to him in his opinion. I don't know.
Well, what you say?
I said there was a streak of white in the dress, I think.
It was a white shirt. You know what I mean? Like, and the funny thing is, when at the premiere party, he wore all white. I'm just like, I can't win for losing with these people, child.
Well, with that being said, you guys, this was a great interview. I'm glad that we were able to get to you again for part 2 to finish it off. So we want to thank you for gracing us with your presence. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And this was a good interview.
Make sure everybody heads over to Fox Soul TV, honey, on YouTube or foxsoultv.com, honey. We had an awesome show today. It just aired earlier, like right before I did this. So make sure you head over there if you haven't seen it already and check it out. It was really interesting. It was a great conversation. It got a little heated, child. It just showed you how things can be on a positive note and still get heated. So you're still going to get drama. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't make any fake drama. We didn't throw anybody under the bus to get the drama. Like, you can still have an authentic conversation and get authentic drama that's still going to make for great TV. So yeah, head over and check that out. And thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We look forward to seeing the rest of the season and whatever the reunion gives us, child.
All right then, Nicole. Well, you can let yourself out. And thank you for coming up.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye, baby.
All right. And that was the interview with Nicole, y'all. I'm glad that we actually got to finish it. Child. This was a good interview. Very good interview.
Yeah, they're usually always good at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's always a good interview. But you guys, we're about to go on and get up out of here because I have to film again right after this. I have to film again. I have to film one of my segments tonight. Right after this, soon after I get off of here, I gotta film my segment, and then after my segment is over, I gotta go live. And guess what? A bitch been up since 4:00 this morning, and I'm fucking tired. I haven't had a chance to take a nap or nothing. I'm tired, but you know, I'm working my ass off this week, content wise and every damn thing else. Huh?
As you should.
Right. So we're about to go ahead and get up out of here because, child, let me get ready to film Who Was Wrong season 2. This is my 3rd show I'm filming for season 2 already. I already did the first 2 yesterday. Now I'm doing another one today, doing 2 tomorrow, and it's a lot, child. That's what happens when you're trying to keep your channel going. But me and Jamar are out of here. We do have another interview coming, but as far as I know, but Jamar won't be a part of that one because that particular interview is falling on a day that he got something to do. It's an interview with Letitia Pearson.
Friday.
Huh?
Move her to Friday. Move her to Friday.
She said
can't do it.
They specifically said the only days that would have been good was tomorrow and the 27th, and it would not be good.
Tomorrow to interview Keisha from Belkin.
That was not going to be good for me tomorrow because I got a panel tomorrow, so it definitely wasn't going to be good for me at all tomorrow. So no. Oh no. But hopefully we get to interview more people from the cast this season. We've interviewed Andre, Nicole, Hershey.
I think that's it this season.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll see if we can. But with that being said, you guys, be sure to tune in to Rich Bomb's interview with TTB Network. I'll be watching that one because I want to hear what he got to say because I know that he got a lot to answer to because people are really coming for him. They don't like him too much, but I like Rich Bomb. I know he's a little aggressive and shit, but I like him. So it is what it is. But we're out of here, you guys. Until the next one, we'll see you guys later. Next time, you'll probably see Jamar and I on camera together. It's for Boys Night Out. But it won't be, child, my class reunion next Friday. So we probably won't be seeing each other until the next 2 weeks on camera. Because my class reunion next Friday. But I might just let y'all continue on with the show without me Friday.
That depends.
See? We'll have to talk about that, child. But anyway, we're done. Let me go film for Who Was Wrong. And we out of here, y'all. Until next time. Bye, y'all.